Y'all looking for me? Y'all looking for me? Yeah. Well, here I is. Yes, sir. Here I is. No, it ain't nothing wrong with your YouTube. It ain't nothing wrong with your internet. I am on in the afternoon like a soap opera. What it do? What it do? Here I is. Here I is. It's the Corona hour, and it's been a real doozy, man. I tell you. Yes, sir. We about to get it in. We about to have ourselves a good time, and I got some things I want to talk about. We got this Joe Biden scandal that's been brewing in a pot, and nobody's saying nothing. I feel like G Money. I feel like Nino Brown. Don't nobody know nothing. CNN, Fox News, NBC, ABC, MSNBC, BDP, OPP. Don't nobody know nothing about this. Ain't nobody saying nothing. I gotta do my due diligence, and I just couldn't believe that it got this far. And it's like, and Joe Biden, I believe he's just right now, he ain't said nothing about this, but I can tell you what he has done. He done came out and he done went Rick James on this whole situation. He did confess it. Here's what he said. Joe Biden held a press conference and came out to make his point known and to admit to his wrongdoing. And what Joe Biden came out and said, he stepped up to the mic and he just simply came to say this. Love them and leave them. That's Joe Biden, baby. That's what I used to do. Yeah, Joe. Use and abuse them. Yeah, baby. Then I laid eyes on you. It was pain before pleasure. Yeah, Joe. That's what he was on. That was my claim to fame. Yes, Joe. With every measure, baby. Yeah. Take the teardrops, pains. Yeah. Joe. I was cold as ice long ago. Joe Biden. Yeah, Joe. No. Wasn't very nice, Joe. Joe wasn't nice at all to these hoes. He's like, I'm out here. Then he's like, I kissed your lips and you turned on my fire, baby. And you burned me up within your flame. Took a little higher, baby. This nigga Joe, he was loving him and leaving him, baby. Look here, let me tell y'all something. I just cannot get over this. Is like, if y'all watching this now and y'all see that a little small country boy YouTuber with his own YouTube channel, but he do work hard for his artists. If I'm the one breaking this and talking about this, damn Corona and all that shit. Coronavirus ain't got shit on this. I'm telling you this right now. This here, in my opinion, supersedes Corona. We know niggas is getting sick. We know niggas is coughing. And a handful of niggas done died. I get it. Some niggas is in the hospital. Hey, man, look. It was 60 to 80,000 who got stricken with this shit when it was H1N1. We only had like 2,000 deaths for Corona. And yes, they saying it might be worse, but we ain't there yet. So this right here, this is important. Damn that. Now, for my own due diligence and my own journalistic responsibility, I felt it was my duty to talk about this. Now, some people might say the country don't need this at this point in time. Some people might even be hood enough to say, please don't show me that at this point in time. But that ain't going on right here because I'm showing it to you at this point in time. Some of y'all don't know what that means at this point in time, but that's what I'm doing. Look, Joe Biden has been doing the damn thing. And my point is this. Here's why I'm really on this shit. If you saw the title, you saw what it said, right? Surviving Joe Biden. Damn that. If y'all motherfuckers, and this go out to Oprah, this go out to Lifetime, this go out to what's the football face bitch name? Gayle King. This go out to all of y'all. And I'm just telling you how I really feel with this one. If y'all motherfuckers can talk about R. Kelly, y'all motherfuckers can talk about Bill Cosby, Michael Jackson, Russell Simmons, and Kobe 17 years later after he dead, then god damn it, all of y'all should be talking about Joe finger banging Biden. Plain and simple. Y'all talked about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump paid a goddamn porn star. He at least paid for his pussy. This nigga Joe Biden is taking pussy. He just putting bitches up against the wall like he the police and then finger banging them. That's what he doing. And ain't nobody saying nothing. Are y'all kidding me? Are y'all kidding me? Y'all think that I was gonna let this go? No way. No way. Y'all motherfuckers can talk about Harvey Weinstein. Y'all can talk about Epstein and any other Jewish thing that did some fuck shit. God damn it, you gonna talk about Joe Biden. And if you don't, I'm is. That's just plain and simple. This is crazy. Yes, I'm coming on while niggas is at work. Why? Because I ain't got to work today. That's right. But I'm here right now. This nigga done lost it. He done got it in and ain't nobody saying. I am so surprised at how ain't nobody saying nothing. And it ain't no, oh, well, the networks have been preoccupied with the coronavirus. Bullshit. Motherfucker, this at least a 4 to 8 minute segment. You can talk about Corona. Everything about Corona that's out, we know about. Only thing we get now is updates on the numbers. Corona, where we at with they done talked about the stimulus package. Checks is in the mail. They done talked about the Corona, where we at, how many done got it. We number 1 now. We got this many cases, and we know the number gonna keep growing because they just got the test. We know all that. Let's talk about this here white boy who putting these girls up against the wall and putting his finger up inside them. Let's talk about this finger banging that Joe been doing. That's what I want to do. I'm going to talk about it because that's what I think we need to know about it. If everybody needs to know about Clinton getting his head in the Oval Office, if everybody needs to know about what was the black boy who just got caught in the hotel room butt naked with 2 dudes having a gay extravaganza weekend to the point to where niggas had to call the police because a motherfucker OD. We can talk about that. Yup. Gotta talk about the black boy down there in Florida who was married, who was prominent, almost became governor, but we see why he couldn't become governor because he was too busy having a male weekend extravaganza. Drugs and dicks are swinging. That's what he was on. How we ain't talking about this here Joe Biden. That's what I'm here to do, and that's what I'm here to get done. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the favorite part of the show.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
There we go. So we done got the business out the way. Now, let's get down to this here real shit. And that is Brother Joe and his shenanigans. Here we go. So, first and foremost, if you have not heard about this, which a lot of people haven't because this shit ain't been getting covered. But if you haven't heard about this, there's a woman by the name of Tory Reed. Tarreade. Her name is Tory Reed, and she was working for Joe Biden back in the 80s. And during this time, she was working with Joe Biden. She is allegedly stating that Joe Biden had made several lucid, yes, there it is, lucidity. There was nasty comments that he made. He was flirting with her, talking about her, how fine she was. He told her she was sexy. He told her that she had nice legs and she looked good. He wanted her around. He told his secretary, hey, keep her around here. I want to see more of her, as much of her I can possibly see. I want to see her. That's what he said. And then he had her around and hanging out, and he was commenting on it, checking her out, like, yeah, I see you, girl. I see you. And then one day, he had her bring him his gym bag, and she bought it, and he gave it to her. The finger. Unwarranted. He gave it to her live and direct. No warning or nothing. Yes. So let's go ahead and let's hear her story and hear what she's saying. And then we gonna let's see here. Where's my video? I gotta take some of these. I got so many videos in my damn thing. I don't know why I do that. I need to clean. Let me clean some of this up. There we go. That's it right there. I'll clear it up later, but this is what I want to see. Yeah, there we go. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get it in.
All right, Crystal, what's on your radar?
Well, as you may know, yesterday on Rising, we interviewed Tory Reed about her time working as an aide to Joe Biden. Tara alleges that then Senator Biden sexually assaulted her in the early 90s when she was a young staffer. Here's what she told us, and warning, this may be upsetting for some.
We were in a semi-private place. It wasn't completely private. He was at first talking to someone. They went away, and then he said, come here. And then when I gave him...
Now, some of y'all might be looking at this lady saying, Joe Biden, bang a bang, huh? Look. That's not the point. Now, Monica Lewinsky was not a head turner herself. But you also got to factor in this woman here. This is about what? 30 years on her? This 30 years later. Some shit like that. Yeah. This 25, 30 years later. So I'm imagining that she wasn't looking like this back then, but that's neither here nor there.
Gym bag, it happened all in one motion almost.
I ain't got to chat up or nothing. Hold on here.
Against the wall. And then his hands were down my skirt and up my skirt. And I was wearing, I wasn't wearing tights or anything. And, he then, with his hand, went from there and entered me with his hand, and as he was trying to kiss me and saying things to me. So when I tell you what happened, it's hard because everything kind of happened at once, but there were incremental parts to it. And meaning he was trying to kiss me and I was pulling away. And what I remember of that time is feeling really shocked, surprised, because there was no real conversation right beforehand. There was no precursor. It just happened.
There was no cursor. He was supposed to say, look, now, I know you're bringing me this gym bag, but what I'm about to do is I'm going to pin you up against this wall, and then I'm going to take my fingers, and I'm going to go under your skirt. Then I'm going to go up around your panties and go on in. That's essentially what he was supposed to do and give her a warning. But how do you do that? I don't know. I just wasn't. I had a very short, let me be transparent. I had a very short finger banging career. As a young man, my finger banging career was quite short. So I didn't go pro. I wasn't a professional like Joe is. Joe obviously is a professional finger banger. I was not. I was late. I got into the league of finger banging late. I was one of those late finger bangers. I don't have a lot of games under my belt, but I will say this. The short time that I was in the finger banging league, I was good. And shout out to my man Mac Love. He was one of my finger banging teammates. Me and my boy Mac, we was getting it in. We had some young girls down the street that we would go down there and see them. We would wait until we would wait now. Because see, here's the thing. I can give you some knowledge about finger banging now. You gotta wait until the sun go down. So me and my boy Mac, we wouldn't go see the girls until it was getting dark. We wait till the sun going down. So in the summertime, that wasn't until about 8:30. So we be out playing basketball in the alley, playing on the crate. We be shooting around, doing whatever we do. That's what we was doing. Going to eat at the what was the damn name? Archie's. We was going to Archie's and all that stuff. Mr. Lee's, getting pizzas, doing all that throughout the day. But when the night would come, yes, when the night closes in, when the night closed in, then me and Mac would go down the street. And the girls, they was there. They knew what was happening because they liked it too. And we'd be sitting there talking and hey girl, we be playing around, feeling on a little booty here, booty there. But then it would get dark. And in the hood, it would get dark. And sometimes we would actually shoot out the street lights so it'd be dark in a certain area because you couldn't take out all the lights. But maybe one or two lights wouldn't be working on the block, would make it real dark. So then I got to get quiet because we was sneaking at this point. So then we'd be on the porch. And we'd be up on the porch. And then the girls would be like, it's kind of cold out here. And we'd be like, yeah, it is a little cold. But good thing we got jackets. We got jackets. Or we'd have on like a t-shirt and then a button up over. You know, that was the style back then in the 90s. So then we take our shirts and be like, here, girl, you can wrap on up with the little shirt. Put the shirt over your leg. Oh, okay, yeah, thank you, yeah. See, we was young. We ain't had no cars or no shit. So we ain't know where to go. So we on the porch. It's quiet. We just keep. We ain't want to make too much noise out there. Because if we make too much noise, then the parents will come out. What y'all out here doing? We just be talking like, yeah, we just talking. And then we had a little shirt, a little jacket over their legs. While it's over their legs, we start out by holding the hands. Then we just be rubbing the little thigh. Then we rubbing the little legs. And see, I'm going to tell you how I knew and how we knew the girls was with it. We knew the girls was with it because no matter what they had on, at the end of the day, when the sun went down, they all of a sudden have to change their clothes and they would have on skirts, dresses, or sweatpants, which means they wanted to finger bang too. And that's what we did. So we be sitting on the porch for hours, from 8:30, 9 o'clock to 11, 12 o'clock at night, and that's what we was doing, finger banging. Now, once we got cars and all that type of shit, we said, damn, this finger stuff, that's just foreplay, and then we trying to fuck. That's what we did. But Joe here, with his 50-year-old ass, he finger banging. He getting it in with all the girls. Look, come to my office, bring me my cup of coffee. Here you go, Mr. Biden. Here's your cup of coffee. Thank you. Set the cup of coffee right here on the table. Gotcha. Finger bang, finger bang, finger bang. All right, now get on out of here. 12 o'clock. Hey, bring me my lunch. I had a ham and cheese Swiss on rye. Here you go, Mr. Biden. Set it right there. Hey, here's your sandwich for you right here on your desk. There you go. Thank you. Wait, before you go. Finger banging. That's what Joe doing. He putting them up. He ain't saying nothing. Ain't saying, look, now when you come in here, I'm going to finger bang you. He ain't saying that. Wasn't no text messaging back then, so he wasn't text messaging. Said, look, I would like for you to come in here so that I could finger bang you. He wasn't doing that neither. He was just saying, hey, you come in my office, at any given point in time, finger banging will occur. That's what he did. So let's go ahead and let's continue.
And then when he did that, I was obviously pulling away, and he pulled back and said, you know, come on, man, I heard you liked me. Something to that effect.
And I'm going to tell you this, because y'all know I'm a skeptic. Y'all know I be thinking women be on bullshit. But that was one of my indicators when he said that, come on, man, I thought you liked me. That's some shit Joe Biden would say. That's the type of shit he said. That's how he talks. And just keep listening, and you gonna hear us say something else that he said, which in my opinion said, oh yeah, he did something, goddammit. I'm just telling you. That's just like some young girl who's saying, R. Kelly touched me, and you say, well, how did he touch you? When did it happen? Well, he had a bed in the studio. I'm gonna be like, that's true. And then what happened? Well, he was in there, he sang me a song or two, and told me we was listening to some music. He sang a couple of songs, and then he pulled me off into the little bedroom in the studio, and he pulled his dick out. Yep, that's what all of them say. That's what he did. And then he did it, and then he bent me over, and he fucked me right there in the booth. That's a R. Kelly. Yes, he did. Yep, he did it. Yep, he did. That's what he did. That was his MO. His opus, his modus operandi. That's that Greek shit for your motive.
And that's what kind of jolted me. Like, I was trying to think what I did wrong to bring that on me. And then he looked angry and irritated with me. And
now, she said he got irritated after he pulled away. Didn't that motherfucker get irritated when he was at that factory talking to that gun dude? He was ready to take that gun dude outside and fight. He was ready to, like, you want to step outside, motherfucker? Since you disagreeing with me? He wanted to take that factory worker outside and fight his ass right then and there. That's exactly what he did. So I'm definitely seeing how a lot of this is playing into his behavior. You say some shit or you do some shit that Joe don't like, he want to talk shit to you. Now, I don't think he gonna fight a lady, but he damn sure could get angry.
That's when I knew it was really, I was in a very difficult position.
Now, as with so many of these situations, there are no witnesses. It's a classic he said, she said, which makes it, of course, incredibly hard to confirm or deny. And
bullshit.
Hill TV has been unable to independently verify her story. That doesn't mean she has no corroboration. Significantly,
now here's why I'm calling bullshit. Because it's just a he say, she say, a me against her, or him against her, or wasn't nobody else there. That hasn't mattered in the past. Wasn't nobody else there with Michael Jackson. Wasn't nobody else there with R. Kelly. All them girls that said R. Kelly did all that shit. Wasn't nobody else there. And it damn sure wasn't nobody else there with Bill Cosby and his ladies back some 35 years ago, back in the 70s. Wasn't nobody there. It was just them. And you see what happened to his ass. So where is the investigations for this dude? Where is it? I don't give a damn what you're saying. Talking about, well, we don't have enough evidence. Bullshit. The amount of evidence that a woman has had to come forth with is just to say it happened. Even the what's the judge dude? Oh shit, what is the judge that whatchamacallit just put in? Trump was trying to put well, he did put him in. Was it Kavanaugh? Wasn't that his name? Yeah, I think it was Kavanaugh. This motherfucker said, I don't even remember what happened, but I know something happened back in the 70s. It was more than enough. They stopped the presses. Hold on now. Wait a second. We have a young lady who's come forward. Well, what did she say? She said something happened. Well, when? She doesn't remember. Where? It was around this time. So what the fuck are we talking about? It mattered because she said it matters. Investigation. The motherfucker had to go before the goddamn Congress to testify. They brought the lady out, gave her $1 million in donations to say, just keep telling your story, bitch. Just keep saying it so we can keep this motherfucker from getting in office, girl. Just say something, girl. And that's what she did. No evidence, no witnesses, no nothing. All she did was say it had happened. Yes, it was 42 years ago. Yes, we were all drunk, but I know something happened. My pussy didn't feel right the next day. Really? And I know it was him. It was Brett Kavanaugh. Is that what his name? Brett Kavanaugh? It was Brett Kavanaugh that did it. That's all I got. That's all I can remember. It was something. I don't know what it quite was, but it was him. How? Biden got this motherfucker here telling the story, There's always been little lingering rumors about this shit, but now don't nobody know nothing. Ain't nobody seen nothing. Everybody like this. All of the journalistic monkeys out here are doing this now. That's all you hear. We ain't heard nothing, we ain't saw nothing, we ain't seeing nothing. We ain't saying nothing. That's bullshit. But here I is.
She did tell several people at the time, and the basic facts surrounding her story, including that she did in fact work with Biden at the time, appear to be accurate. But the question and objection I keep hearing raised is this one. Why now? Why come in at the 11th hour when Joe Biden is on the verge of clinching the Democratic nomination?
Great question. But in the past, has that mattered? Nope. When that lady came and got on that judge, when did it happen? Right before that motherfucker became a Supreme Court justice. Right before he was about to get put in. So political agenda, hey, so what? Don't matter. It don't matter. It's her time when she felt she needed to speak up. Yeah, but we're days away from making this dude a Supreme Court justice. Y'all don't think it's something weird with that? No, we don't. The fact that she came forward is good enough. A woman is speaking up. So, hey, welcome to Me Too, motherfucker. That's all you got. That's all it was. So, hey, I don't want to hear shit else about saying, oh, well, now she's just trying to do it because she don't want him to get the nomination. Nope. Because all you motherfuckers did the same shit when that damn judge did it. When Bill Cosby ass was trying to buy the motherfucking TV station, you came with all this fuck shit right then and there too. Coincidental, huh? Yup. Bitches came forward from 30 to 40 years ago. It didn't matter. So the shit don't matter now.
The question, of course, is meant to undermine the claim and cast it as politically motivated. The more Red Scare conspiracy-minded have taken that even one step further, going full Russian agent on Tara, based on a Russia-friendly blog post that she wrote, as if her views on Russia remotely relate to Joe Biden's actions on that day in the 90s, as if it's not far more preposterous to imagine that Tara Reade is some Kremlin agent than that a powerful man committed an egregious act. But the story of Why Now is actually incredibly telling. It says everything about how our elite institutions routinely cover for powerful men. It says,
and she actually has a point here. But the point is, but my point is this. Yes, it's some strategy to this. Yes, it's either somebody trying to besmirch his Joe Biden. Absolutely. My point is this. They all do it. And here, this is my biggest thing with people and how we view politics and how we let people do the shit they do in politics. We act as though it don't matter when somebody does something, what their possible motives could be, why they would say something, why something would possibly happen at this particular point in time. We disregard all of that when it serves our interests. We never want to question it when it could be something that could be a bad look. We don't want to talk about it then. When it's serving our purpose and serving our interests at that moment, that nothing of that matters. And the fact that you're questioning it, you're deflecting, or you working for the opposition. That's bullshit. We should all question it. I question this. I'm questioning this. Yes, this bitch is coming forward in the 12th hour because it's to fuck with Biden. Absolutely. My point is this, though. So that the women who came and did it when it came to fucking Cosby. So when same thing happened when it came to Russell Simmons. Same thing happened when it came to Michael Jackson. Same thing happened when it came to R. Kelly's. Same damn thing. But that didn't matter. So why should it even matter now? It should not be talked about now. Because every woman that came forward with any of this shit instantly is believed. And the second part of that is the man loses everything. He's investigated, his reputation, all of that is besmirched. He loses his job. Look what happened to Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey hit on underage dude who I think he was 17, snuck into a bar where he was supposed to be carded, supposed to be grown, but unbeknownst to Kevin, he didn't know that the motherfucker was underage. He didn't know. He was in an adult nightclub. How would you not know that? How are you supposed to know that? But that didn't matter. He lost his fucking TV series. He lost his TV series just because of that. Some young ass boy finally came forward and said years ago this shit happened. And yep, oh, nope, no, we got to take your show, Kevin. That's it. Nope. Me Too. The chick, Asia Argento. The chick with the Me Too, who kicked off this whole Me Too shit with Weinstein. Turned out that bitch did the exact same thing Weinstein did to a boy for years. What did they do? Fade to black. Fade to black. That's what they did. They went straight Homer Simpson in the bushes when it came to Asia Argento. Yeah, but it was Harvey Weinstein that did it to her. Okay, great. Y'all gonna put Harvey under the jail? Fine. This bitch should be in a cell right next to him. But what do you see? Nothing. Thank you, G-Friend. Johnny Depp. Same thing. This bitch was talking cash shit about Johnny Depp to the point to where she even came back and admitted the shit. Johnny Depp got clear-cut evidence to show, I told y'all this bitch was lying. What did everybody say? Crickets. Quiet as fuck. I need to get me a crickets sound. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. It was fucking crickets. Here's where the bitch lied. You can see it right here. She's actually saying that she's fucking lying. Ooh, she did, huh? Brian Banks, bitch lied. Nobody said nothing. It's amazing to me how we get all of this fucking rah, sis, boom, bah. It's our time. No more. Women standing up. Everything is happening now to where these girls are finally getting believed. We believe in everybody. Stand up for yourself. Time's up. Me too. And as soon as a motherfucker catch a motherfucker lying, as soon as somebody's caught not telling the truth, as soon as you see some discrepancies with the story, Homer Simpson, I'm gone in the bushes. Nobody says shit. Don't nobody say, well, what, bitch, why you have us get all behind you and do all this shit and you lying? That was just like with the Russell Simmons story. Everybody tries to think that 50 Cent and Russell Simmons got Oprah not to do that story. To take her name off of that motherfucking documentary. Nope. Oprah Winfrey said it herself. I found a lot of inconsistencies that were quite troubling to me. And when I asked about saying, hey, we need to look at this, it wasn't my project, so I couldn't control it. So I took my name off of it. She didn't do that shit to help Russell Simmons. She didn't do that shit because she felt Russell Simmons was putting pressure on her. Russell Simmons can't pressure Oprah Winfrey for shit. That bitch is a billionaire and a media juggernaut. You ever heard of the Juggernaut from X-Men? That's who that bitch is in media. She is the Juggernaut. Nobody gonna silence her. Not Russell Simmons anyway. She backed up off that shit because she saw her name was on it and she wasn't in control of it, and there was some questionable shit. And as opposed to her calling the shit out, she backed away. She backed away. Now, you ain't seen that story yet, have you? Nope. Don't know if you will see it. I know I haven't heard anything else about it. Once she left that shit alone, seemed like that shit dried up. But they was coming for Russell too. Bitch, how you getting raped and taking advantage of and you still coming to work every day? Who do that? Yeah, I went into work yesterday. My boss pulled out his dick and made me sit on his lap. Oh my God, what happened? Well, the next day I went to work. He did it again. Oh my goodness, then what happened? Well, I went to work again. He did it again. Oh my God. Well, then what happened after that? Well, I didn't go to work the next day because it was the weekend, but I went to his house and he did it then. He fucked me. Well, why would you keep going around this person? Well, I didn't know what to do. I was scared. Every time? How many times do a nigga have to pull his dick out to show you his intention? How many times do a nigga have to put you on his lap to show you his intention? If the motherfucker wasn't Santa Claus, bitch, you should have been along. That's all I'm saying. So this whole why now shit, I don't give a fuck about none of that. Because ain't nobody give a fuck about none of that shit with any of the other people this shit didn't happen to.
Everything about why so many women don't come forward at all. Because according to Tara and according to Ryan Grimm's reporting, Tara has been trying to come forward for months. Tara initially came forward in a limited fashion after Lucy Flores wrote an...
And here's my, in defense of that, It don't matter if it was a few months ago. She's still on bullshit. She's doing this shit because there's a political gain to it. And even if the shit is true, the timing of it stinks to high heaven. That's just a fact. It stinks to high heaven. But nobody seems to care about that when it's serving the right group's agenda. And you gonna see where the fuck shit comes into that right here.
Op-ed claiming that Joe Biden made her deeply uncomfortable at an event when he sniffed her hair and kissed the back of her head. Now, naturally, Tara was attacked. According to Ryan Grimm's reporting, Tara has been trying to come forward for months. Tara initially came forward in a limited fashion after Lucy Flores wrote an op-ed claiming that Joe Biden made her deeply uncomfortable at an event when he sniffed her hair and kissed the back of her head.
That's some old, that's some Silence of the Lambs shit. I can smell your cunt. Joe Biden just walking up on bitches like, oh yeah, stay right there, don't move, just. You set my soul on fire. It is not just a spark, it is a flame, a big roaring flame. I can smell it now. Yes. Is that Pantene? No, that's Fructis, isn't it? Yes, I smell it. Oh, yes, I can smell it. That's some creepy shit. Joe, that's sick. I must admit, though, I smell my wife's hair, too. What's that movie, A Scent of a Woman? I don't know, but I love the way my wife smells. And yes, I will get up on her neck. Girl, you smell so good. I'll put my nose in her hair. Oh, baby, you smell so good. I sniff my wife all the time. Yes, I do. I like it. Call me a pervert. You can call it what you wanna. That's what I like to do. It's fun. It's intoxicating. She intoxicates me. I get up on my wife at any given point in time and be like, come here. Ah, yes, baby. I can smell it. Ah, your perfume. It smells so good on your neck. That's what I do. Yes. Now, motherfuckers at the office, I ain't never did no shit like that. Motherfucker bring me some paperwork. I don't say, come here. I don't do that shit. So, Joe, you on some bullshit, man.
Now, naturally, Tara was attacked and her character smeared, which gave her justifiable pause about sharing.
Shout out to my nephew. He said, man, family guidance ain't going to be the same after that. Malcolm, hey, I'm just telling you, boy. I know you done smelt some girl's hair, too. It might have been some weave, and that may stink, but you young. I'm an old cat. I got to have natural. I got to have that natural hair. I will sniff it and smell it and like it. Now, I don't recommend you smelling Yaki or Remy or the lace fronts, cause that shit do stink. Smell like a locker room. It do. After a Friday night game, after Friday night lights, it's the locker room. Yes, that's what it would smell like. It smell like corn chips, ass. That weave will smell like athlete's feet. It'll smell like hot dog water. That shit'll smell like boiled garbage juice. Some of these women so goddamn nasty it'll smell like the chitlin washing juice. That the water that you wash off the chitlins in, not the cooking part. I'm talking about that shit when you washing the chitlins, that water. I'm telling you. So I'm just saying, you may want to be careful with that because you young and you down there in Atlanta with all them young girls, and that's all they do is wear that shit in their head. I get it. You trusting the big butt and the smile. Don't you be smelling that weed, boy. Like G-Friend said, it might have some COVID in it now, too. So don't do it. Don't do it, boy. Don't you do it. Please don't. Please, 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 please don't sniff it.
The full nature of her allegations. But she did decide to persist anyway and tell her full story, including her
I want to talk about this.
pause.
So there's a group that's called Time's Up, and Time's Up said it could not fund a Me Too allegation against Joe Biden, citing its nonprofit status and his presidential run. Let's see. Okay, I get it. And I could kind of see how that's a little bit on the fence. I could kind of see that. But oh, wait, there's more.
About sharing the full nature of her allegations. But she did decide to persist anyway and tell her
So basically what that statement I just read, put a pin in that. Check this out.
full story, including her allegation of sexual assault. And so she did something very logical. She took it to the organization that was supposed to be set up to assist cases exactly like hers.
Now listen to this.
Time's Up. Now, Time's Up Legal Defense Fund says on their website, this fund helps workers connect with lawyers and bring cases of workplace sexual harassment and related retaliation, regardless of industry, rank, or role.
Regardless of industry, rank, or role. That's what they saying on their website. They tell you this is what we here for. We here to do this thing for the Me Too women of the world, Craig. The world. That's why we here. We here to help all of the Me Tooers out there. We trying to get you with the right people. That's what they do.
Somehow, that blanket statement included an unstated loophole that Tara's claim fell right through. According to Tara, and again according to Ryan's reporting, after initial interest, Time's Up walked away, claiming that taking on a claim against a candidate for office could jeopardize their nonprofit status. An incredibly conservative reading of the law that was contradicted by other lawyers and would mean that Time's Up is effectively giving a free pass to every powerful man who happens to also be a candidate for office.
Exactly. Now, ain't that some bullshit? But wait, there's more.
Oh, and there's one more thing that you should probably know. Time's Up's PR is handled by SKD Knickerbocker, which happens to be run by Joe Biden's campaign manager.
What? You hear that shit? Did you hear that shit right there?
Anita Dunn. You see, there's a powerful club. Oh, and there's one more thing that you should probably know. PR is handled by SKD Knickerbocker, which happens to be run by Joe Biden's campaign manager, Anita Dunn. You see,
So the 501c3 organization that you got, their PR is ran by this motherfucker's campaign manager? Is that what she said, campaign manager?
PR is handled by SKD Knickerbocker, which happens to be run by Joe Biden's campaign manager, Anita Dunn. You see,
Ain't
there's a
that some
powerful
shit?
club here.
Ain't this some shit? Pulled up in the CADI. Bumping AC hoes, AP those, PIMP, and you think that automatically, cause he's a pimp, he's gotta be full of that MONE, but why? Cause niggas be sporting nice cars and fancy clothes. Tell me that ain't no pimp shit right there. Do you wanna ride in the backseat of a caddy, chop it up with do or die? Do you wanna ride in the backseat of a caddy, chop it up with do or die? Whoa, ride. Do you wanna ride with me? Tell me that ain't no pimp shit right there. So the motherfucking 50c3 that is for the Me Too movement, that is the Time's Up organization, that is a 501c3 tax exempt organization. That motherfucking organization's PR is handled by who? Joe Biden's motherfucking campaign manager. Get the fuck out my face on the internet. If that ain't no, I don't know what is. How does that happen? And how ain't nobody saying nothing about this shit? Don't nobody know nothing about this? Ain't nobody talking about this at all? Keisha, dead. Dunner Man, dead. $1 million a week business reduced to rubble. And don't nobody know nothing? Come on. That's two different scenes from New Jack City. But that's my point is, ain't nobody saying nothing about this. Don't nobody have a problem with this? Ain't nobody say, hey, wait a fucking minute. We need to investigate this. Where are the Nancy Pelosi's? Where are the Kenneth Stars? Where's all these motherfuckers that's been prosecuted? Where are the Oprah Winfreys? Where are the Gayle Kings? Where's everybody who's trying? How come nobody's trying to tell Tara's story but Tara? How come nobody's trying to tell Tara's story? Where are all of the social justice warriors? And here's what I call bullshit. Because if this was Trump, tell me if this wasn't Donald J. Trump, that these motherfuckers wouldn't be all over this. This would be a fucking feeding frenzy. It would be like the movie Piranha when the girl was sitting in the inner tube and was floating and all the piranhas came up. It was just, they'd be feasting on this bitch. They would be feasting on Donald Trump if this was him. What if this was Denzel Washington? They'd be all over this shit. Any other black prominent motherfucking celebrity, they'd be all, if it was Michael Jordan, they'd be all over it. They would be. They'd be all over it. If it was TK Carter, they'd be all over this shit just because. Lock TK Carter ass up. Y'all niggas don't know who TK Carter is. Google TK Carter and see the last movie he was in. They be on his ass. Why? Because we can. If this was anybody else, they would be all over this shit. If this was any of the Republican Party, any senator, anybody, they'd be all over this shit. They didn't even want to report the governor, the black dude governor down in Florida. I mean, no, he wasn't a governor, but he ran for governor. They didn't even want to report him. But his shit was so fucking egregious and there was so much evidence. They had pictures and everything. Naked niggas throwing up, motherfucking bed sheets stained and shit with all kind of gay sex on it. They said when the officers walked in the hotel room, they was like, oh my God. What is that you smell, a dead body? No, it's the stench of gay sex. Gay male sex. That's what the police said. The police walked in and their report. As soon as we opened the door to the hotel room, there was a strong sense of gay male sex in the area. Then we saw the senator laid out on the floor. Or congressman, whatever the fuck his ass was. You got a bitch who came forward with at least some definite key points of evidence here to not necessarily say it may have happened that way, but it should be enough to where there's an investigation to say, Joe, you need to answer this shit, bro. Bro, you need to talk about this here, bro. We need a statement, partner. They're not even saying shit.
In this town, and you're not in it.
Gilliam,
and
that's his name. Thank you,
Tara.
Angry Man.
Tara says she tried to get her story out in other ways, too. She wrote to Elizabeth Warren's office and Kamala Harris as well. Shared
So they can't say, well, we didn't know. Kamala Harris, Wakanda. And she's a fucking prosecutor. Why wouldn't she say nothing? Ain't she for women? Ain't she for Wakanda? All of you fellow Wakandans out here, y'all not gonna ask her, well, why would you overlook this bitch, Kamala? Why would you overlook this? This is a woman who has had an egregious transgression placed upon her. She was in a terrible situation. No one cares for Tara. We care more about Joe Biden than we do Tara Reade. She was helpless. She got finger banged and it was unwarranted. Nobody said anything. Wow. Isn't that something?
Nothing back from Kamala and got a standard form letter back. PR is handled by SKD Knickerbocker, which happens to be run by Joe Biden's campaign manager, Anita Dunn. You see, there's a powerful club here in this town, and you're not in it, and neither is Tara. Tara says she tried to get her story out in other ways, too. She wrote to Elizabeth Warren's office.
Elizabeth Warren ain't said shit. Elizabeth Warren was like, fuck this shit, bitch. I'm good. I'm trying to get this job that if Joe Biden get in there, Joe gonna make me something. So I ain't got nothing to say with this.
And Kamala Harris as well.
Kamala Harris saying the same thing. I got something coming. If Joe get in here, I got something coming. If I go ahead and endorse him and we good, then yeah.
Nothing back from Kamala and got a standard form letter back from Warren. Two women.
Kamala didn't say shit. Kamala didn't even return the bitch call. At least Elizabeth Warren gave the bitch a standard letter to say, look, bitch, we ain't fucking with you, essentially. And there it is.
Who, of course, heavily ran on their gender and what their election would represent for women. And then there's the media. Tara wasn't exactly hard to find. After Ryan's article and Katie's interview, I reached out to her separately on Twitter. I heard back within minutes. I'll be honest, I didn't want Rising to be the first on-camera interview for Tara. And I know from speaking with Katie that she didn't want to be the first podcast interview with Tara. Obviously.
And she makes a great point there. Why in the fuck is, I ain't never even, when I heard of Rising, when I found this shit, researching this shit, I was like, who the fuck is Rising? Who is that? Who that? Who did Rising? I ain't never heard of them. But this is crazy how this has hit the supposedly, it was there for the media to pick up, but nobody did. And can't nobody say that Corona is more of a pressing issue. Yes, Corona is very important, but at the end of the day, there's a moment and a piece of news time that you can dedicate to this. Absolutely. And all of the fucking politicians that knew about this shit, they definitely could have said something about it.
Katie and I are both seen as friendly to Bernie, which means in the mainstream world that we can't be trusted. I thought Tara deserved a full vetting and a fair hearing from a mainstream outlet. But as I reached out to mainstream folks that I know to see if they were interested in breaking this bombshell story, I heard back crickets. Nothing. No one seemed to want to touch it. Tara says she too had tried to get a hearing from mainstream journalists only to come up empty. Now ask yourself, if a claim like this had been made against Bernie Sanders or even Donald Trump or another media villain like Edward Snowden, do you think that the accuser would have had any trouble getting press?
Hell
do you think it
no.
would fall to independent and alternative news to break the story if a woman who worked with Bernie in the 90s made a credible claim of sexual assault?
And she's right as shit. It wouldn't matter who else did this shit, y'all. I'm telling you. And my thing is this too. To all of those people that are all of the anti-Trumpers, I hear you. I hate Trump. I don't like Trump. He's a racist. He's the devil. He's like Chun-Li from the Kumite. He's just the worst type of motherfucking human being ever produced. Yes, I get it. Why nobody's talking about this woman? All of my social justice, liberal, democratic supporters, why y'all ain't calling for Joe to be investigated? Why y'all not calling for Joe to make a statement? Why y'all not calling for Joe to sit down on Good Morning America? Why y'all not calling for Joe to sit down with Gail? Why y'all ain't calling for Joe to sit down with Oprah? Why y'all ain't calling for Lifetime to do an investigation on Joe? Where is the Lifetime special on surviving Joe Biden? Because none of those other allegations, there is no evidence and no convictions, but yet and still, everybody's talking about it, and the social media is feeding on it, on everybody else. Russell Simmons, all over the world. Michael Jackson, all over the world. Bill Cosby, all over the world. Kobe Bryant, all over the world. Joe Biden, all over Rising. All over the relationship rehab. There's only two outlets talking about this. The relationship rehab and Rising are the only two people that have picked up Tory Reed's story. This is a damn shame. It's ridiculous. This is a monstrosity. I am appalled.
Do you think CNN and MSNBC would bury their heads in the sand? Every reporter in this town would be breaking down their door to be the first to tell that story. Coverage would be wall to wall. Remember when Elizabeth Warren claimed Bernie was a secret sexist and these establishment types disgustingly co-opted the Believe Women hashtag to take Warren's side in her highly unlikely claim? Well, where are all those folks now?
Thank you. Where they at? All of these people that's been talking about it, don't matter if there's evidence. You just got to believe women. Women say it, then it's happened. It's true. The same rules should apply to him. Felix the Rat. Felix the Rat. Yeah, I don't know what movie that's from. Felix the Rat. Felix the Rat. The same rules should apply to him. And it's not. And that's why I call bullshit all the time when people try to tell me, well, why you ain't talking about Donald Trump? What's understood don't have to be explained. Trump says something stupid every day. He's probably saying something stupid in 3, 2, 1, go. Stupid line from Donald J. He says some dumb as shit right now. That's not the point. The point is this. When you have people that are doing things that's wrong, if you on this side of the fence or that side of the fence, wrong is wrong. Is Donald Trump done some dumb, fucked up shit? Yes. Yes, he has. Is it more egregious than any other politician of all time? Absolutely not. It's not. It's been plenty of other fuck shit that paramounts the shit that he's done. Overall. In just if you're looking at the whole career. That's all I'm saying. But when people see this, all of you motherfucking Democrat, liberal, social justice warrior motherfuckers, y'all all go silent and y'all scrolling up for the next Donald Trump thing. Y'all scrolling up for the next Republican thing. Y'all scrolling up to see what the next is. Sorry, is that something else? Oh shit, this is just the leading story. This ain't hitting none of y'all motherfuckers' pages. It ain't hitting y'all Twitters. It ain't hitting your IGs. It ain't hitting your Facebooks. It ain't hitting your Tumblrs. It ain't hitting your TikToks. It ain't hitting shit. It's 2 goddamn media sources, outlets, talking about this shit. Hill TV on the Rising Show and a YouTuber named a Relationship Rehab. I find that quite troublesome. I'm having trouble. That's all I'm saying. I'm calling a thing, and I'm saying this is bullshit. Because there have been plenty of women who have come out with less than this, that have said less than what she's saying, that can't even account for what she's able to at least account for, and it's been at the forefront. Where's the lawyer chick who represents all of these Me Too'ers? Where's she at? Nowhere to be found? Oh, you ain't taking this case. You ain't gonna pro bono her, but anybody else? Oh yeah, we got you.
I believe Tara is trending on Twitter and all the blue checks and gender warriors are nowhere to be found.
Yep.
How incredibly convenient. Their principles seem to have abandoned them now that it threatens their access to the Biden campaign and ability to grift off their coziness and proximity to power. We've, of course, seen this pattern time and time again, whether it was NBC shutting down Ronan Farrow and his Harvey Weinstein reporting. Remember how, according to Ronan, Hillary's aide threatened his access if he didn't drop the story?
Boom. And I'm going to tell you, shout out to Crystal Ball. I believe that's her name. Yeah, that's her name. Crystal Ball is right there on the front. Shout out to her because she's literally calling out. And I'm going to tell you this, in all fairness, she definitely seems to be, like she said, not Biden, but what's the other dude? I forgot his name that goddamn quick. Goddamn. Bernie Sanders supporter. So what? It shouldn't matter. Because it didn't matter with nobody else. It was never questioned from anybody else. It's never been questioned. I don't understand how there is a microscope on every word that comes out of Trump's mouth, how there is a microscope on everything that anybody in the Republican Party does. There is a microscope on it. However, when it comes to anything on the Democrat side, there's nothing to be said. Ain't nobody talking about the fuck shit that they just put in this bill that they did the other day. $2.2 trillion. And all niggas is getting is $1,200? Max out $2,400 for a family? $2.2 trillion, people. And ain't nobody got nothing to say. And you know why I got the $2.2 trillion? Is because of the Democrats wanting to put in all of this extra shit for shit that had nothing to do with COVID-19. Nothing to do with COVID-19. Let's see. $2.2 trillion. Let's see. 2 trillion. That's million. That's billion. There we go. What's 2.2 trillion divided by 324 million? Yeah, that's 1, 2. That's 100 million. Oh, nope, I gotta add some more zeros there. No, that's right. Yeah, that's right. 100,000, 100 million. That's a billion. Nope, I do. I gotta add 3 more zeros. There we go. Wow. Divided by 300. What is it? 25 million Americans. Yeah, something like that. Ballpark. Yep. 325 million. Shit. That's 679 76. God damn. That ain't even close. And we ain't getting none of that. They putting 650 million into the arts. What does that have to do with COVID-19? Biggest goddamn stimulus package ever passed. 2.2 trillion. Come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, Siri. What is 2.2 trillion divided by 325 million?
2.2 times 10 to the 12th power divided by 325 million is about 6,769.2307.
So we should be getting $6,700 a piece if it's to stimulate the economy. We ain't getting not even close to that. We ain't getting close to it. Just saying.
Or Amy Robach explaining on a hot mic that she had everything on the Epstein story, but that ABC was afraid they'd lose their Will and Kate Royals access because of Epstein's connection to Prince Andrew. They'll happily trash the dude who's stockpiling Purell or the random lawyer on Twitter who put out an objectionable tweet.
Facts. What they did to them hand sanitizer dudes, that was bullshit. If them niggas wanted to charge $1,000 for each hand sanitizer that they went and bought and stockpiled, so be it. Motherfucker, don't buy it. Do you realize you can make your own hand sanitizer? I don't know the ratio of how you mix it, but it's something like if you get aloe vera gel and alcohol, that's hand sanitizer. You can make your own. You need something to sanitize with? It may stink a little bit. Get you some vinegar and water. Vinegar kills damn near anything. The white vinegar kills damn near anything. I'm just saying. We will grill the littlest motherfucker, or we will grill the motherfucker that is on the opposite side that we just personally don't like. And then the person that we do like will do the most egregious fuck shit possible, and we just won't say nothing. That's my thing. It's like, and that's why, and people that say, well, you don't say nothing about Trump. Like I said before, there's nothing to say about what's already understood. What's understood don't have to be explained. We know that Trump does plenty of fuck shit. Now, when Trump do some fuck shit that surpasses the norm, absolutely I will say something. That was just like a few weeks ago when one of my buddies corrected me about the shit that Trump was doing where he was getting rid of the college shit. And I was like, damn, we need to say something about this. He was like, man, people ain't getting this shit no way. I was like, wow. And I looked into it, and people wasn't even getting the shit that they were saying you could technically get. You had to jump through so many hoops to get the shit, you couldn't. So, what can I say? He getting rid of some shit that niggas wasn't able to get in the first place. Come on, man. That's all I'm saying.
Gladly provide a venue for allegations against the outsiders upon whom their status and access do not depend. But they've got to be dragged kicking and screaming to do their job when it comes to their own ideological and class brethren. So look, Tara's claim against Joe Biden should be scrutinized. It should be fully vetted, and people can decide for themselves what they think. But drop the why now. Because the truth is, she's been doing everything she could think of to be heard. This is just the first time anyone bothered to listen.
And here's my thing with that. No, I don't think you should. I disagree with her. I don't think you should ever drop the why now. I think the why now is always something that is pertinent information. The thing about it is, you didn't ask the why now with anybody else. The why now never mattered with anybody else. The why now never mattered with all of the women that's old as fuck that came out against Bill Cosby. There was no why now then. The why now never came up about the lady who was trying to get Judge Kavanaugh from getting on the bench. Nobody said the why now mattered. They didn't matter then. So yes, I think everybody should be asking the why now. But if the why now didn't matter for those other people, like the R. Kellys, all of the women that were paid off and agreed and signed NDAs, and then they came back, there was no why now then. So why now shouldn't matter. If it didn't matter to them other people, it shouldn't be a point now. But I believe that it should be. I believe there should always be a why now for everybody. Not just now with this chick that's accusing Joe. Old finger banging Joe. I don't think that. I think that everybody should always get the, well, why the fuck now, bitch? Why you coming forth now? What done brought you? Let's look at your money. Let's see if you're in debt. Let's see if somebody else from a political campaign or some particular group is edging you or urging you to go come forward now. Let's see who's behind you, who's standing with you, so that we can truly get the why now picture. And if we go, and my thing is this, the whole not in the club thing, that's with any and everybody. There shouldn't be a club, period. The believe women piece, if you want us to just believe everybody, if you want us to automatically believe women, here's my thing. And this goes with rape and all this shit. Rape, Me Too allegations and all that. If you want us to believe women automatically, just because they say it and it's so, then it needs to be treated just like when you come into a court of law. In a court of law, you swear an oath to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And if you don't do that, if you lie, what do they have for you when you lie? Perjury. That is a criminal offense. You can go to jail for lying in a court of law. Plain and simple. And that's exactly how it needs to be with all of these Me Too, all of these women that are saying that they got raped, all of them. Come forward. Fine. But if you lying, bitch, you do a minimum 5 years in jail. No parole. And you know what that would do? It would weed out all of the bullshit. I shouldn't have to go to court and pay a lawyer tens of thousands of dollars or maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars to prove my innocence for a bitch that lied, who then once we find out she lied, she ain't got no money to reimburse me for my lawyer fees that I've incurred. So I spent tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars with no recoup at all. And all this bitch do is just get a slap on the wrist and a how dare you, and she's gone about her way. Nope. Put that bitch in cuffs and have her go do 5 years. You want to lie in court? Go do 5 years. Fine. No excuse. Don't lie. Because if we catch your ass lying, it's 5 years. You do that shit, I guarantee you, a lot of these rape allegations won't come about. Just like that bitch that did the Duke lacrosse team. Did them motherfuckers in. Ruined them motherfucking boys. Do 5 years. She doing time right now because she just kept doing fuck shit, but she still should have that 5 years. The chick who lied on Brian Banks, okay, bitch, we done found out the truth. You got to either do 5 years, or if this motherfucker go to jail, you got to do the amount of time he done did in jail. Brian Banks locked up for 8 years, 10 years, however the fuck he was locked up for. We found out you lied. Come on. Put these bracelets on. You go sit down too. For how long? Long as he did. If he did 15 years in jail because you lied, bitch, you go sit your ass in here for 15 years. Plain and simple. Because that's going to make women tell the fucking truth, because what's in the hanging in the balance? I didn't know. I was depressed. I'm bipolar. Nope. Sit down. That's what's in the balance. You going to sat your ass down for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Whatever this motherfucker done did, if it's more than 5 years, you got to do that. Because you lied. Well, they told me. You shouldn't have listened to they. That's it. All right, now I want to play one more thing, which is like her actual account of everything, just to get all of the other statements out there. So let's go ahead and let's do that.
A new claim has emerged against former Vice President Joe Biden. Tara Reade has previously alleged that he sexually harassed her when she worked as an aide in his Senate office in the early 1990s. Now she says there's part of her story that she's never told before.
We reached out to the Biden campaign for comment. We have not yet heard back, and the Hill has not independently verified Tara's claims. Joining us now via Skype to share her story is Tory Reed. She's former Senate aide to Vice President Joe Biden and domestic violence activist. Great to have you, Tara. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so tell us what happened back in the early 90s, the part of the story that you had never shared before.
Like that shit is low.
Well, I had started with Senator Biden's office in 1992 in the fall when President Clinton, the inaugural and all of that. So I came on in December of that year, and then continued on through 93. And as was in the press before, there was a sexual harassment claim that I made. And the part that I excluded was an encounter that I had with Joe Biden. It was very painful, and it's had a long-lasting effect on my life.
So let's talk about that incident, Tara. First, describe it for the audience, and also, why is it that you left out that part of the claim when you originally stepped forward, whenever there was an accusation against the former vice president that took place from a Nevada lawmaker? Why is it that you're coming forward at this point? And please, I want to make sure that you have your say, and you can describe the story as full and in whatever way you feel comfortable.
And my thing was this. That was a great question. It's like, no, bitch, you need to go ahead and tell us what the fuck is really going on. What happened? And that's one of the things too that we have with so many of these different accusations. It's like everybody's kind of like beating around the bush. He did this or he did. Tell me what happened. And I was skeptical when I first saw this shit. And then I was like, no, she needs to tell us what the fuck happened. And she does.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. There were many obstacles. I think the biggest one was fear of retaliation. I received in 1993, when I attempted to bring forward the claims, I received a great deal of retaliation in the workplace. And I lost my job and career as a result of coming forward. And I was too frightened then to talk about it, and didn't really have the framework then to, how to come forward and all of that. And then
and that's bullshit. I'm calling bullshit on that.
Oh, come on now. That ain't even bullshit. That's horseshit.
She could have definitely went to the police. Where is the police report? If it happened, it happened. Go file a police report. I don't understand how a woman in today's world, you don't have to necessarily go through, I'm going to go on the media, I'm coming on TV. If some fuck shit happened to you, go file a police report. You can get an officer to take a report. If you got raped, do a rape kit right then and there. I understand the psychological effects it may have and how you just may not be ready. Okay, fine. You get finger banged. It ain't too much of a rape kit you can do with that. I get it. But 2 weeks later, 2 months later, 6 months later, you need to file a report. You need to file a report, plain and simple. You shouldn't wait till a motherfucker become vice president or about to possibly become the president to now say, I need to come tell my story. That's bullshit.
Last April, when I saw Lucy Flores being just torn apart by the press, I don't want to blame the press, but it was just, she was being kind of vilified. And
no, you should blame the press, because they was the ones that was doing the shit. It was a feeding frenzy on her ass, plain and simple. That's what the media does. Just funny how they're not doing it with you.
And it was painful to see, because her claim was valid from my perspective, because I had experienced it. And a friend of mine who knew me at that time called me and said, hey, Tara, they're saying no former employees of Joe Biden have come forward. And I said, I know. And I decided to come forward about that portion. And then as soon as I did, a couple of reporters from national outlets called me. But by then, I was already getting smeared on social media, and I'd gotten some threats by phone. And I just kind of went silent and decided I wanted to approach it from approaching like an advocacy organization for help. Mm-hmm. So the portion that I didn't talk about was the encounter with Joe Biden. And it was after he had said some things about wanting me to serve drinks to donors, that he thought I was pretty and had nice legs and things like that. And
did you hear that? I want you to serve drinks to the donors when they come around. So basically, he saw that she was attractive, some little eye candy, and he was like, "Yeah, my donors are like seeing her. They like looking at her because I like looking at her. When I want you to serve drinks to my donors when they come and we have events. I want you got some nice ass legs. I like you. I want you and I like you. I like you and I want you. We could do this the hard way or the easy way. Now, some people prefer to get their salad tossed with syrup. I prefer jelly." That's exactly what he basically told her.
we didn't really have that many. There was no relationship. There was no flirtation or anything like that. He just made it clear he liked me. The scheduler told me that he did as well, and it was strange. But anyway, I was doing whatever I was doing in the office, and the scheduler came in and said, Joe wants you to bring this to him, hurry. And it was his athletic bag. It's called a gym bag. And so I was carrying it. And this is where I want to be really frank with you and everyone. I have worked so hard to not remember this anymore that now that I've talked about it, I only shared it with a couple of people when it happened at the time. So there are spots where I just don't remember certain things, but I remember the assault itself and then the aftermath and the reverberating effect of that. And I was walking to the Capitol. Through the Russell building, you go down the stairs, you go down, and then it was somewhere in either the Russell or Capitol, I'm not sure, in an alcove. But we were in a semi-private place. It wasn't completely private. He was at first talking to someone. They went away, and then he said, "Come here." And then when I gave him the gym bag, it happened all in one motion almost. And he had me against the wall. And then his hands were down my skirt and up my skirt. And I was wearing, I wasn't wearing tights or anything. And he then, with his hand, went from there and entered me with his hand, and as he was trying to kiss me and saying things to me. So when I tell you what happened, it's hard because everything kind of happened at once, but there were incremental parts to it.
And there it is. That's essentially what she said. It happened. And there's a picture. I just found a picture of her online. That's her back in the day. So people to be like, "Oh, I don't believe it with this ugly chick." There you go, right there. She ain't no Bo Derek or no shit like that, but she ain't no ugly bugaboo chick. But that just goes to show you what the fuck he was on. Him saying, "I want her to serve drinks," he was talking about this motherfucker here, not this motherfucker you see right here on this Skype. That's who he was talking about, who he wanted to serve drinks with for to his donors back in '92. Yes, that's exactly what he was on. So I'm just saying, I'm just calling it like it is. That's what was happening. That's what he was on. There it is.
Meaning he was trying to kiss me and I was pulling away. And what I remember of that time is feeling really shocked, surprised, because there was no real conversation right beforehand. There was no precursor. It just happened. And then when he did that, I was obviously pulling away, and he pulled back and said, "Come on, man, I heard you liked me." Something to that effect.
Now that ain't a Joe Biden. That don't sound Joe Biden to y'all. I'm just saying. Come on, man. I thought you liked me. Come on. It got Joe written all over it. I'm sorry.
And that's what kind of jolted me. Like I was trying to think what I did wrong to bring that on me. And then he looked angry and irritated with me. And that's when I knew it was really, I was in a very difficult position because he was my boss and he was like my dad's age at the time. And I trusted him and looked up to him.
You didn't trust him and look up to him. God damn it, you just expected your boss not to finger bang you at just any given time moment, in any moment's given time, any given moment. That's all that was, which is acceptable.
And it was not like I disliked him. I liked him, but I just didn't like him in that way. And it was just shocking. It was shattering, actually. And he said to me when he pulled back, he pointed his finger at me and he said, "You're nothing to me."
Now, aha! Do you remember when Joe Biden was talking to the dude at the plant? What did he do when he started talking to him? He pointed his finger at him, started telling him, "What do you need with a shot? What do you need with an AR with 30 rounds? What do you need with this? 30 rounds?" That's what he did when he shushed his assistants. Shush. Shush. What did Joe do? He pointed that Arsenio Hall finger at him. So that's why I'm more inclined to believe her, because of what he did and what he said. Telling her she's nothing, all of that shit, that elitist attitude, abso-fucking-lutely. That's why I believed her. That explains the abrasion on your palm.
You're nothing. And then he straightened his clothes and
like now, this is all 30 years later of just bullshit. I'm selling it now with the emoji because she ain't dropped nan tear, but she's just so emotional. Whatever. Fact of the matter is, I believe the shit happened. Plain and simple.
he went away. And I don't remember. I know I went to the restroom to clean up, but I don't remember exactly. I remember the next memory I have is of the Russell building. There's these long windows that are very tall and this empty kind of like, there's back stairs. And I was sitting on the back stairs and I just remember the coldness and my whole body shaking and feeling alone and feeling scared and not knowing what to do or who to talk to. And it just, I knew I had made him angry because I insulted him by pulling away and stuff. It was awkward and horrible. So I called my mom later. I went home and she was furious and she said, she educated me about sexual assault. At that time, I really didn't look at it as a sexual assault. I thought I felt like I put him in it.
And see, and here's my thing too. So your mama told you what was good. So you could have been naive in your 20s, didn't know what it was, but you just admitted that your mom told you what was popular. Like, nah, bitch, that's sexual assault. He can't do that. You need to do something. But she chose not to. She chose not to. And that is problematic. It just is. And that's what a lot of women that got this thing to where they say this shit happened to them 20, 30, 40 years ago, but they didn't do nothing about it then. No, you need to do something about it to any young girl, any young woman, because this shit does happen to where motherfuckers may get raped. They may get assaulted. Now, I'm not saying that every woman that comes forward and say this shit is a lying bitch. I'm not saying that in the least bit. Because there's plenty of niggas out there that like taking some pussy. Point is, when something like this happens, you need to be the first motherfucker going right to the motherfucking jail. To the police station saying, I need a report. You need to be the first motherfucker dialing 911 saying, help me, please help me. That's what you need to do. This whole shit of where some fuck shit happened to you and you sit on it for 30 years, that's fucked up. Too much shit happens in 30 years. Too much shit changes in 20 years. That shit shouldn't take you 30 years to get the courage to come forward. It shouldn't. And that's with anybody. There should be a statute of limitations on this shit when there's evidence that's lacking. Now, if I get raped and do a rape kit and I catch the motherfucker 30 years later and the DNA matches, throw that motherfucker under the jail or roll the wheelchair to their front porch and fry their ass right there like a chicken. But when you ain't got no evidence and you just talking about your feelings and what you think happened 30 years later, that's fucked up. Should nobody be able to come back 20 or 30 years later with no evidence and literally ruin a motherfucker's life? Nobody should be able to do that. But we're not in that society. And we're in a moment to where anybody can come forth and say anything about anybody with no repercussions or consequences for doing it when they're lying. And everybody gets treated like they're guilty until proven innocent, not the other way around like it's supposed to be. You should be innocent until proven guilty.
A bad position. It's strange to say, but I felt like I did something wrong because after I was told to like serve the drinks and I wouldn't, the scheduler said things like, you need to button up more, you need to dress less provocatively. And I was in my 20s and I was dressed in pretty much business clothes, so I was confused.
And here's where the bullshit ensues. And this is, to me, this shows that it was a thing of, oh, okay, so now she ain't trying to fuck, she ain't down to fuck, she ain't what they call that DTF. So, hey, don't be wearing all this shit around the office no more. Don't be doing, and my thing is this. You shouldn't be working in a business or a professional environment anyway dressing provocatively. You just shouldn't. You just shouldn't. Motherfucker, be conservative. At least be presentable. If it's all about business, dress that way. Not the business of your titties being out. Not the business of your cleavage being at the forefront. Not the business of your your form-fitting jeans or your form-fitting slacks should not be at the forefront. If it's a professional environment, bitch, be professional. Keep your titties and your ass covered up. Even if you got big ass and big tits, put a fucking sweater on. That's not form-fitting. Unfortunately, your clothes should not be accentuating your body parts if you ain't DTF. If it's all about being a professional, if it's all about being a business person, a businesswoman, if it's all about being looked at as equals, your tits should not be at the forefront of your outfits every day. Your tits should not be at the forefront of every fucking meeting that you have. Now you gonna wear the shirt where your titties out or your cleavage is showing. It shouldn't be. Oh, yes, it do, Jamie. Yeah, it do. Google that shit. Google Tory Reed, and you'll see different pictures from her from over the years. Oh, yeah, that shit look just like her ass. She's just older than a motherfucker now. This was 30 years on a motherfucker. She's what? If this shit happened in her 20s, we talking 30 years ago, she's 50. She's in her 50s. Yeah, you take a motherfucking you take some of that jaw meat off, some of that neck area out and tighten that up. She looked like that. She's just older now. And as she's gonna say, her career and all that shit as far as politics is concerned, she wanted to get into politics. All that shit went down the drain. Joe Biden motherfucking ISO'd her ass quick, fast, and in a hurry.
By that, and my mother described that as retaliation, and she was kind of explaining to me what was happening, and I wasn't aware of how this worked, in that kind of
right
pattern. And so when I called her, she said, "I want you to make a police report." And I said, "Mom, who do I call? It's the Capitol Police. Like, he's one of the most powerful people in the world. He's chairman of the judiciary. There's nothing I can do, and no one saw it, I don't think." And she said, "You need to march into the office, you need to make a sexual harassment claim." And she was like, Tony and we argued about this. And it was after the incident that I did make a written claim outside the office, because I had tried to follow protocol with the sexual harassment, and just how I couched it was in terms of I felt uncomfortable. And I went to my supervisor, and I don't know if it's okay for me to say the names of the upper level supervisors I went to, but there were two.
Yeah.
And they were in upper, yeah.
And she went to her supervisors. They all covered the shit up. They all dropped the shit. Fine. All I'm saying is this. The same rules that have applied to every other Me Tooer, the same rules that have applied to every other time is up person should apply in this situation. Because if it was anybody else, it would. That's all I'm saying. And actually, I ain't even got to keep going through the rest of the shit. If you want to watch it, you can. Shout out to Rising TV for bringing this shit forward and for actually doing something about it and speaking with this lady. Hey, all I'm saying is this. Why not have the same rules apply to the same way it's applied to everybody else? I don't want to hear shit else about somebody saying, oh, well, now that don't matter. If it don't matter, it shouldn't matter here. But this goes to show and to prove my point of the biasness that happens when it comes to this social justice, the group of social justice warriors, these group of liberals, these group of Democrats, that just anything anti-Trump, they are willing to forego whatever just because they don't like this man. They say he a racist, he the devil and all of that, but they will take a woman who has had a criminal offense put upon her, forced on her. This dude did this fuck shit, and they won't even investigate it. Everybody deserves their day in court. Yes, it's her word against his, but ain't nobody even trying to investigate this shit because they want to make sure at all costs that Trump gets out and Biden gets in. And that to me is fuck shit. That's exactly what that is. And that makes me look at your integrity. All of the people that say, well, I remember I saw somebody on the social media on Facebook the other day saying somebody who votes for Trump, that says a lot about them. Well, what the fuck does it say? And I asked the question, I don't know if they responded to it or not. I said, so what does it say about people who voted for Hillary Clinton? Like she was like she's a fucking saint. And that's my thing with this whole political thing, who you voting for and all that. You have to look at both sides. You talking about a woman who been in politics for 30 years and ain't did shit for black folks. That's who we gonna vote for because we say Trump is a racist. We feel Trump is a racist. What has Trump done to me? What has he done to the people around me? I can show enough tell you the fuck shit that Hillary Clinton has done. The soldiers she let die in Benghazi, I can tell you about that. The millions of motherfuckers that got locked up that was black, what did she call them? The predators. I can tell you about that. All the niggas that got locked up from 3 strikes by this motherfucker Biden, who wrote that shit. I can tell you that. I know plenty of cats that got locked up for how long? Ever. You know, like Bernie Mac said, you know it's a long time you take the 4 off that motherfucker. I can tell you that. That affected motherfuckers that I know. That affected the people that was around me. I can tell you about my friends who got taken to jail just for motherfucking bullshit ass crimes like loitering just so they can get a strike. They start building a motherfucking case on the motherfucker. Just to get a nigga the way he had 2 strikes. I can tell you the amount of niggas that got planted the motherfucking bullshit ass dime bags of fucking rocks planted on them and said that they was drug dealing just to get a strike on their ass. I can tell you that. Just to get a motherfucker on the books. Oh, this motherfucker ain't got no record. We done drug him all the way down. Well, let's just say he loitering. What? Crime bill. Fuck shit. So I can tell you that. But hey, here's my thing. When you look at what's going on in our society and how we treat people and the things that we do, if it's all about being fair, if it's all about justice, if it's all about doing the right thing, why ain't this woman getting her day and getting her moment in the spotlight? Why ain't she having her day in court? And why ain't she at the forefront? Why ain't she getting her time? Why ain't the media digging into this? Why ain't nobody vetting her story? They are literally ignoring her on purpose. And that's all I have to say about that. I hope that this video helps somebody become a better version of themselves. Let me give a shout out to Angry Man who hit your boy up with $10. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. And then the other day, my man Stephen W hit your boy up with $100. That's what's up. Salute to you, sir. I appreciate you, man. Also, my man Deshaun hit your boy off with $5. D Shizzle, that's what's up. Thank you, sir, for your donation as well. And I think that's it. Let me just double check on the PayPal side of the game. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. It's an afternoon show. I don't think I've ever done a show in the afternoon during the middle of the week, the beginning of the week. But hey, ain't no time like the present. It's the first time for everything. Oh, yeah, I did get one. I did get one the other day. I think it was DK. Yes, sir. Yep, he sent your boy $10 as well. Thank you, sir, for your donation. All right, well, I just wanted to go ahead and drop this off. I got some other stuff that I might do another show tonight. I'm going to go ahead and do my thing. And yeah, I think I will be coming back this evening. So thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. I hope that this video helped somebody become a better version of themselves. And to everybody that support and donate and just, hey, do what you do to click the like button, click the subscribe button. If you ain't never seen me before, go ahead and do that. I appreciate you. I hope I don't get censored. I'm too small to get censored. But anyway, shout out to Soto Nation. Shout out to my brother, Tommy Sotomayor. I love you guys. Peace. And I'm out. Oh, DJ Matt, thank you for your donation, sir. I appreciate you. Hit your boy off with $4.99. 99.99. Thank y'all. Peace. And I'm out. Here I is.